When you start searching for that perfect fabric for your next quilt, do you often feel like you're on a scavenger hunt? Keep watching.
Hi, I'm Hannah at Fabric Café, and today we have an excellent fabric challenge for you. We have a scavenger hunt, and we've got 3 wonderful contestants who have all shared a fun fact about themselves that you might not know. Our first contestant is Donna Robertson, and she met Charlie Pride and his backup singers while she was on a cruise. Fran Morgan, our second contestant. She attended the Richard Petty's driving school where she drove a NASCAR. And our final contestant, John Nossel, he has visited over 10 different countries and his favorite was Greece. These are our 3 fabulous contestants. How y'all feeling today?
Awesome.
Awesome.
Let's match some fabric.
All right. So today we are doing a scavenger hunt challenge.
Scavenger hunt? What are we going to be doing with that?
Well, thank you for asking, John. What we're going to be doing today is, you know, when you pick a quilt for someone or you want to make a quilt, you're usually making them for someone else. So you have to think about what they want and how to pick their fabric. So today I'm going to give you some criteria on what types of kits you have to pick, like people that you have to pick them for.
Cool.
So
Okay.
you'll be picking 2 different kits. One, you'll be picking a kit that a father-in-law would like. Doesn't have to
Okay.
be your father-in-law, but something that maybe one of our lovely family out there, what their father-in-law might like.
Okay.
Your number 2 kit is going to be something a teenage girl would like. But I have a little twist. It's not just a generic teenage girl. I have little personality traits in this cup.
Oh my goodness.
So you guys are going to draw
fun.
a piece of paper and then tell us what their personality is like. And you have to pick a kit based on that.
Okay.
So one at a time, pull your cards.
That one.
And then we will read them so the audience knows what you got.
Okay. Am I supposed to roll my eyes first?
Very teenage of you.
Oh, I like this. She's very artsy. She loves music, dancing, and art. And she likes to keep it funky and fresh.
Hey, okay. Very fun.
I can handle that.
So my teenage girl is an animal lover. Doesn't matter what kind of animal. She is whimsical, bold, and adventurous.
Oh, very cool.
Cool.
Well, mine loves the outdoors, has a butterfly collection, and she loves cool tones.
All right.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah.
All right.
So now all that's left to do is pick the kits. So we're going to take a little break and they're going to go pick their fabric.
All right.
Yay!
So whenever I heard that I was going to be choosing a father-in-law quilt, the first thing that popped in my mind was fishing, because I know that my father-in-law loved to fish.
With my teenage girl, that was going to be a little bit more of a challenge. So I'm thinking, you know, I'm going to be looking for some lighter, maybe some pastel colors, and definitely looking for something that has those butterflies on it.
For the father-in-law, I'm kind of like thinking, and because it's almost like I have to see it before I can know what we do have in our inventory. But I'm pretty sure it won't be flowers.
Well, I started thinking about the whole father-in-law thing, and it's like, I think, you know, the first thing that's popped in my head is get something in there that's more of kind of these earth tones and things like that.
Now for the teenage girl, that's a little bit more specific. I tend to think more jungle theme or outdoorsy theme because she has that adventure part.
So I figured if I looked for something that was more like art fabric, that was kind of funky and fresh. So I'm going to look for those things.
All right, so you picked out all your fabrics. How'd it go?
Good.
Yeah, had fun?
Absolutely.
Oh, it's always fun to do this.
And you know, the fact that we use the fabric in this room, it's sort of like we have this huge stash that we go to, and it's just like you have the stash at your house, and you're going to look for a specific thing.
Yep.
Exactly.
Gotta find that perfect quilt. Well, I am so excited to see what you guys have put together. So we're gonna go cut these fabrics and then we'll come back and show it to you. And while we're doing that, why don't you like and subscribe and hit that bell so you can get notifications whenever we put out a new video.
Well, that was a lot of fun.
It really was.
I love putting fabric
I do
together.
too.
But it reminds me of when I first started and I was so timid and so scared, and it took me like 6 or 8 hours to pick one quilt.
My goodness, yes. Yes.
So I want to reassure you, the more you watch this show and the more you practice, the better you'll get.
Absolutely. And if you really enjoyed the video today, we have some additional kits that we have picked out. We each have one, and we have renderings of those in our newsletter. So if you're not currently subscribed to our newsletter, be sure and do that. Go to our website and sign up there.
All
And
right.
that's a great way to be able to see those special kits that we put together just for you.
Absolutely. Well, let's get started.
Yeah,
and
I can't wait to see.
I had father-in-law. Okay, so father-in-law, and it's kind of interesting. I picked Byzantine Door, and this quilt was actually inspired by my husband, Robert. And we were sitting there talking, and I was saying, I need another quilt. So he suggested that I do the Byzantine Door. So let's put this on the table. And I will tell you that when he said that, I was like, okay, but what is the Byzantine Door? And he said they were 12-foot tall doors that are in a chapel in Italy. And that each one of the panels had a panel with one of the apostles carved
Oh, how
into
fun.
the wood.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and so it's very, very interesting. And it also is a nice long quilt. It's easily put together, and I chose hockey, which I don't think is real easy to play.
No, and it's pretty aggressive.
Very, very aggressive.
And I even think there's something about carving the ice or something like that. So,
Oh,
you
is
know.
there? Wow. Okay. Well, what I did was I picked the hockey because my father-in-law loved sports and was really into watching anything that had a ball or a puck or
Right,
you know,
right,
something
yeah.
like that involved. So we have our helmets here, and then that's for our number 1. It's going to go in this block, and this is a nice big block. It has I think it's 11 inches long.
Wow.
So it makes a nice big block to be able to show off the helmets. The number 2 is going to go in this particular block, and this is a great quilt for showing off 2 focus fabrics, and that's one other reason I picked it. So we have our hockey players here, and then for our sashing we have number 3, and that is for where the green is here.
That'll look great.
So I
Those
think
are
it
great
will.
colors, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And what guy doesn't like blue? Yeah,
Exactly.
Okay, so this one's called Game Time. It's 8022418, and it is Byzantine Door from the Quick and Easy 3-Yard Quilt Book.
That's awesome. Now, the next one we're going to look at is my pick for father-in-law. So let's go check out that pattern. I chose Happy Go Lucky, and I did Happy Go Lucky because I chose a larger print, and this has got that nice big wide spot for that large print, and then it has a little movement here dancing across. So let's look at the fabric. All right, so here we go. Now, my father-in-laws, my in-laws, really, they loved this kind of early American Western style, and they actually had images and the little statues and things in their house of the horses and stuff. So this was
that's great.
so perfect for them. So this here fabric has lots of fun words on it, cowboy, bunkin' bronco, all these different things. And this print will go very nicely in this wide piece here on the quilt. This will be your focus fabric, which is your number 1. So and it's directional too, so it'll work really, really well in that place. And then the number 2 fabric is this fun coordinating horseshoe and star here. And that, I think, coordinates perfectly well with the greens and the jades here. And then our number 3 is, once again, a really nice blue, because, of course, that's what we always
great.
relate guys with blue, right? And this 2 and this 3 here is what is going to make the pinwheel row here. So the number 2 will be in the background, and then the pinwheels will be the blue. So it gives you some movement, which I really, really like. So this is lots of fun. I think guys will really love it. And the kit information on this one is 8022419. It's called a Ropin and Ridin, and it's the happy-go-lucky pattern from the book Quick and Easy.
Well, I've got a great one for father-in-laws. I mean, because after all, what father-in-law doesn't love cars and things like that? Because, you know, most of them are out there tinkering in the garage on their cars and stuff. So let's take a look at this one. So again, I'm using Byzantine Door. Here's another great example of that. Again, like Donna just said, it's got those great 2 focus fabrics in it. So let's put that up on the table and show you the kit that I've put together for this one.
I thought it was really funny that we picked the same pattern because we were not paying any attention to each other because you know how our slave driver Hannah is. She said, y'all need to get this done. And so we just concentrated on what we were doing. And so the funny thing is we all 3 picked a pattern from the book Quick and Easy 3-Yard Quilts.
That's
so
great.
when
That's
Hannah
great.
noticed that, she pulled the book so we could show it to you. So all 3 of these first quilt kits are from this book. And remember, when you buy 3 kits, you can get the book free.
That's a great deal. So let's look at the fabric that I've chosen here. And again, you know, we have so much fun because we've got all this great stash around us here. This is actually where we pick things from. So that's why, you know, if you look at all of our videos, you'll see this all changes as time goes by. So I found this on the shelf here, and this is a great one. It's got all these great classic antique cars on it, the Chevys and the Fords and all of that stuff in here. That's going to go in here where our blue fabric is on this Byzantine Door pattern. And then our number 2 fabric is these great old license plates. I mean, I love going to some of these old restaurants or barbecue places here in Texas that have all these old license plates on the walls. It's always kind of fun to say, ooh, I've been in that state and that one and that one.
It's very man cave-ish.
Very man cave. Yeah, this would be a great man cave quilt even. So this is our number 2 fabric. It's going to go down here in this area on the quilt. And then I've got this great black with just this little plus sign on it, almost like a little bit of a metal field or something like that. That's going to be great in our sashing and out here on our borders. So this is just a really great one that's for those car connoisseurs in your life. And this one is called Classic Cruising. It's 8022420, and it's using that Byzantine Door. And as you just mentioned, it is out of that Quick and Easy book. So another great kit from that book.
So this one is called County Fair. And County Fair, I picked it because it had a lot of movement in it. And I was joking and saying that this represented the dance, the movement of a dance, while this one represented the art, where you might put a piece of art in a frame. So I just make it up as I go along and explain all of these great quilts that we have. So let's put that one up here, and you can see what we have for my teenage girl.
This is fun.
Yeah.
Really
This
fun.
is lots of fun.
I know that most artists love color.
Yes.
And so I had that in mind, you know, and then the dance and all the movement. So you've got that fluid movement here. So this is your number 1 fabric. It's going to go in the number 1 spot. It is the largest block in your quilt whenever you select your focus fabric. So that one is going to go in all of these large blocks. Then your number 2 fabric is this yellow, so we're going to pick up the yellow here while we tie it together with a hot pink and a yellow.
Oh, that's
great.
wonderful.
So our pinwheels are going to be in this particular section here, and then in the framework of this one right up here is it's going to be the hot pink, and then it's going to have the focus fabric in there.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So it just really
Great.
kind of ties it together. So I was pretty excited about this fabric 1, 2, and 3, and I like the little sprig there that kind of tied it together with that yellow.
And you know something else that I'm noticing, and I know that in our Matchmaker series we talk about this a lot, and that is whenever you've got a bold print like you do on your focus, and then you have 2 simpler prints to go with it. One of the ways to keep the interest in your quilt is to pick a pattern with a lot of movement, which is exactly what you did. So your
great.
2 prints that are not as busy will still create something interesting to look at.
Good
so
point.
It's perfect.
Good point. And these are the kinds of things that you will develop over a period of time as you're matching fabrics. It'll just start coming naturally to you. Now this one is called Citrus Ripples. County Fair is the pattern. It's from the book Easy Does It. And it's not available as an individual, but we suggest the pinwheel +1 as the alternative pattern.
That's perfect. Now, the teenage girl that I pulled actually loves animals. She loves an adventure outside, and she loves animals, and she's very bold. So I kind of tacked on those words, bold, adventurous, and animals, put them together and pulled something really great. Let's show you the pattern. Now, I have chosen Roman Holiday. I like Roman Holiday because it has these two big blocks here, and then it has these little rectangles here, these little, I don't know, they look like little angles here that just kind of join these two squares. I've always loved that about this pattern. And they pop off this great background in the lighter color. Let me show you the fun fabric we've chosen.
Fran, I have to say, I love this one.
It is really fun.
Yeah, I have to say I kind of love this one too. So for big adventurous girls, this would be great as well. So whenever I saw the frogs, I thought, this is perfect. She's a little adventurous. Frogs are very bright and colorful. They're very bold. And I think this is perfect as our focus square, which will be here in the larger block. And then I chose the number 2. The number 2 to me almost looks like bubbles in water. I know that seems funny, but with frogs, and it's perfect. That's going to go in the background of this. So everywhere, so it's going to frame the frogs really well. And then our number 3 fabric is this great orange. Now there's orange in our dot that comes out as well as in our frogs. That will be these little corner pieces here. Now I chose orange because she's very bold, and I think that orange is such a great color right now that really picks up the bold. Now something else that's going to be really fun, and as a surprise for our teenage girl, is the fact that our fabrics 1 and 2 glow in the dark. So she will be able to take this on a little overnight adventure, maybe in a tent in a backyard, and have the perfect quilt to take with her. So
that's
so
great.
fun. Very, very fun. So the information on this kit is 8022422. It is called Hangin' Happy, and it's our Roman Holiday pattern from the Quick as a Wink book. And we are recommending the alternative pattern as Town Square.
Awesome.
Well, that's awesome. So I think mine kind of hinges off of that one because, you know, she's got the animals and things like that. Well, mine just loves the outdoors and has a butterfly collection and just really loves all these cool tones that are kind of also in style right now with interior design and things like that. So let's take a look at the pattern that I've got for us. So this one is called Easy Street, and I love this one because it does have a lot of movement and everything in it. It's got this great block for doing a focus fabric, and then we've got some smaller blocks to kind of help support that. So let's put that up on the table and take a look at the fabric that I've chosen for this. And I think this is just such a fun fabric because it's got just almost kind of an artsy watercolor feel to it. And so we've got our number 1 fabric that's got all these great flowers, and it's got this little great orange butterfly in it. And that's going to go in our number 1 fabric, which is in this really nice big block. And then it's also going to go in these 2 smaller blocks. This is such a fun pattern because it does give us a couple of varieties on those blocks. It's not just that standard like 9 patch or something like that, but it's got a lot of great variety to it. And our number 2 is again another little floral print in yellows to bring those yellows out that are in our number 1 fabric here. And that's going to be here in our sashing around these blocks and out here on the border too. And then we've got to have some more flowers in here. And I think these orange daisies, I think we have an orange theme going on today.
I think we do, but orange is so popular.
We
right
love
now.
orange.
Yeah.
This is such a fun fabric. You know, I almost think of some of those, you know, back in the 60s and 70s when you had the flowers on things. I mean, you even see like Volkswagens running around town with little daisies on the backs of them and different things like that. So this is such a fun one. That's going to be in our number 3 position here and out here on the border. So it's just such a fun floral and butterfly design on this one. This one is called Papillon Park. And by the way, Papillon is French for butterfly. And it's 8022423. And I've used the Easy Street pattern out of the book Easy Peasy. Well, that was definitely a lot of fun to put all this together. So what kind of challenge would you like to see us do?
Absolutely. And be sure to check out those images on our website as well.
Absolutely. And don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell for notifications for new videos that we have releasing. And it's Fran Morgan
And Donna Robertson.
And John Nossel.